Hi, guys. Sorry I'm recording this video this way, but I haven't been feeling well, and it's raining in my usual location, which would be the outdoors. So I figured better to come on like this than not at all. Uh, I wanted I wanted to speak about this light bulb that went off in my head yesterday. I was watching a video. It was the journalist Matt Lee. He was questioning the U.S. State Department, Matthew Miller. Uh, Believe me, I am no fan of his, okay? And I'm a less fan of, what's her name? Karine Jean Pierre. She never answers any questions. And when she does, they make no sense by design. I continue to be surprised. And maybe that's why I occasionally watch her press conferences. It's not even to hear what she says anymore. I just want to see who's still asking questions because it's a waste of time. Uh, but after I did my daily head count of how many people were asking questions, and if they correlated with how many questions she would not answer. After I finished doing that, I moved over to watch Matthew Miller, and I saw this journalist, Matt Lee, I think his name was, ask him directly if the Palestinians had sovereignty. And I found it so interesting. He answered, Matthew Miller said, "We are trying to establish it." I'm, I'm kind of, I'm trying not to laugh, but when they speak, it's so funny to see them try to squirm to come up with an answer that could sound like reason. And they can never do it. They can never ever do it. His answer, "We are trying to establish it," sovereignty, indicated that there was some effort going on the United States part that clearly is not going on. And then his answer also indicated that they should be the one, the United States, to establish sovereignty. That made me laugh even more. But I have to admit that I was actually surprised because in that one sentence, he gave more than Pierre ever gives. He was then asked if the Palestinians have the right to self determination. And he said that they do. But then he followed that with, "We don't recognize them as an independent state." Meaning then that they don't have self determination. All I could think was, who the hell are you to be establishing anything? it just, it made me think of the American Revolution. I'm no expert, but in the American Revolution, wasn't the main issue that, or at least one of the issues, but the main issue was that the British that had come over here were tired of being told what to do by the monarchy, so they had to separate themselves physically and with legal means. And the only way they could do that, after being overtaxed and overburdened, was to fight for their rights. So they didn't wait for Britain to recognize them, not even in the 1700s. They said, oh gosh, we're not being recognized and we're getting charged too much damn money for the tea. Time to fight. That is the basis of this nation. And so now they turn around, the United States, and they act like other people are not supposed to fight for the same thing that they fought for hundreds of years ago. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Anyway, after that, I proceeded with caution to listen to all that I could stomach of Netanyahu, which wasn't very much, I have to admit. I can't take that much of him at all. And his Israeli lieutenant colonel make excuses about why they're justified in killing more Palestinians over bags of flour. It's ridiculous, and it's horrifying, and it's very scary to think that there are people out here in the world that can rationalize slaughter by just turning everything inside out. And then that's when it dawned on me. I listened to maybe 2 minutes of Netanyahu, because that's all that, my physical being could take. And then for some reason, a character popped into my head. It was, now don't laugh, guys. It was, who's the bear? I think it was Toy Story 3, Lotso. Do you remember Lotso? And do you remember his sidekick, Big Baby? So in the movie, Toy Story 3, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to get all into it, but basically there are two villains in the movie. Lotso Bear, I think he's called Lotso Hugging Bear, and he comes off as a jolly, kind, good person at the beginning of the movie. Not a good person, a good bear, a good toy. And then there is Big Baby, who is Lotso Bear's sidekick. Well, in the movie, we quickly find out that they are actually the antagonists. And instead of being loving and kind and to the other toys in the daycare center, I think the daycare center was called Sunnyside. Yeah, the daycare center was called Sunnyside. And they were donated toys, along with Woody and his friends, his toys. Anyway, for a big portion of the movie, the audience is made to think that Lotso is a good toy, and he means well by the other toys that have been given away to the daycare center. And then the toys think that they're going to live a good life. And then he shows his true colors. He starts, dividing the toys into different areas of play, where the ones that he doesn't like are the ones that get trampled on and treated unkindly by the kids that come to get taken care of at the daycare center. And he's intimidating, he's mean, he's verbally abusive. And then his sidekick, Big Baby, kind of co-signs everything that Lotso does. Not because he necessarily agrees with it. He barely thinks. He just goes along because we find out later on that they have some sort of trauma bond caused by being abandoned. So the backstory is, quickly, that Lotso and Big Baby were both, forgotten about by Daisy. That was her name. The little girl that owned them. Um, Big Baby didn't think about it too much, but Lotso took such offense to that he got callous and bitter, and his heart was, he didn't have a heart anymore. So instead of trying to be at peace, he brought terror to all the other toys around him. First he fooled them, then he brought terror. I don't know why, but this reminded me of Netanyahu, Lotso the bear, and Big Baby reminded me of the United States. It wasn't until the end when, I think it was Woody, tells Big Baby that Lotso's been lying. I think Woody has some ornamental necklace or something of daisies that he throws to Big Baby and tries to tell Big Baby the truth. The truth was that there was never a trauma bond. There was really no bond at all between Lotso and Big Baby. It was just Lotso feeling bad about being left behind and not having love in his heart anymore, that he was preventing Big Baby from moving on and living a good life. When Lotso knew that he was losing control, he took his cane and smashed the little necklace that belonged to Daisy. And he started screaming at Big Baby, telling him that he wasn't loved, telling him that he couldn't be loved. All this was an effort to be the ruler of the Sunnyside daycare. And he could continue being the tyrant that he was. Well, after Big Baby's revelation, he couldn't have it anymore. I believe what happened was he threw the bear into a trash can. And then a truck driver picked him up, I think, and put him on the front of his truck. But yeah, that reminded me of what's going on. We have to be careful that we don't have alliances with people that don't know how to love under any circumstance. Because that's what we're going to get. We're going to be led by somebody that doesn't know how to love. And then that's what they teach us, and then we don't know how to do it either. It was surprising that, to me, that it took Baby, Big Baby, the whole entire movie, all the way up until, like, the last 5 minutes, to realize he had been lied to the whole time. I guess it's better late than never. They never really said how many toys had died because of Lotso. They never said that in the movie. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.